Welcome to 0 Hit Points, everybody, for the week of November. What? You're already laughing. We haven't got to the funny part yet.
It was.
And now you're coughing.
Oh, that was funny. It was like your build-up. You had this like.
I gotta keep the energy. I'm gonna be honest. I've been listening. Okay, it's the week of November 11th, and I'm Ryan Miller.
Never forget.
And we've already blown my intro, anyways. I gotta be honest. I've been listening to a lot of Wizard and the Bruiser. You're shaking your head.
Yeah, I am.
Audibly.
Yeah.
I told you about it real quick, but it's also a show that a friend of the show, Adam Parkin, turned me on to. And they basically just pick a topic and explain it, but since they're almost the same people we are, they pick 99% topics that I want to hear about. But a real high energy show. So I'm channeling that. I'm keeping the energy up.
Cool.
Again.
Cool. Yeah. No, I am definitely changing the channel. I'm going to more of a like a 700 Club situation here.
Okay. What podcasts have you been listening? You were more of a serial. You want to keep a real serial vibe for the show.
Yeah, well, like the last few episodes of that have been very, I'm glad they went through Count Chocula and Boo Berry and all that, but
there might be a Wizard and the Bruiser episode on Count Chocula, by the way, before you.
It's gross. Count Chocula is the worst out of all of them.
It's not the best of even like the ghostly ones.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Out of those ones, it's the worst.
Ones.
And I honestly, this is weird coming from somebody who just dies every day for chocolate. Chocolate breakfast cereal is like universally gross to me. Cocoa Puffs, that's just revolting.
Yeah,
the milk is good though.
But no good chocolate breakfast cereal?
Yeah, I don't like for me anyways, I don't like any of them. Like,
does the Oreo cereal count?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I thought I remembered liking that.
I'm not
Shoot, you're right. Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, no. Those are Cocoa Puffs in pebble form.
Okay. It's hard to refute that. But I like it.
No, that's fair. I mean, I'm personally, when it comes to cereal, my top two are Apple Jacks and Rice Krispies.
Apple Jack. I never got into Apple Jacks. Rice Krispies also, this is not an exciting duo.
But like real close to second is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So
okay. There's a new what was it? There's a new it's
churro.
Like churros.
They got churro. I saw it and I was like, ooh, I should take a picture of that. And then I thought, ooh, I should buy that. And then I thought, ooh, don't.
Right? I did. I turned to my wife and I said that, and she looked at it. She was like, I bet that tastes pretty much the same, right? Like that's the churros are the Mexican cinnamon toast, are they not?
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's okay. Sure.
I love a good churro when they're nice and soft and doughy.
Related question then. I know we want to move quickly. Are you an Apple Jacks person because of the commercials? I can't remember them exactly, but I just remember that all the kids that didn't have Apple Jacks were made fun of in some way. And I can't remember, like the cool kids had Apple Jacks.
I do not remember any Apple Jacks commercials at all. And no, it was one of those... I think I had it at a friend's house when I was really young, and that was the first time I had it. And
he was like, "Hey, the first one's free."
And then his mom was like, "Pay up." She was very, very aggressive when I was young. But it was just, it always was my favorite cereal.
Well,
since I had cereal.
Glad we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I just want to, before you move on.
No. Hey, I'm only moving on for you.
Thank you. I strongly dislike, and it is just me. I strongly dislike calling oatmeal hot cereal or anything hot cereal. Nope. Call it oatmeal. Call it grains. It's not cereal. That's disgusting, and you're filthy, and you revolt me.
Well, I can't believe we're going to diverge so heavily on this, but I'm a big fan of calling it's old schooly. It's like calling things a food stuff.
I do call things food stuffs all the time.
It's a ridiculous word. And cereal is just like, oh, this is because that's what cereal meant, and we changed the word, and now it's just a cold thing. I like the old schoolness of it, so...
Well...
I don't know if you want to continue this podcast.
I know. I feel like let's get this episode done and then wrap it up. It's been a few years.
Oh, look who didn't know I was recording. I could have sworn I sent that text.
It's great.
Hold on 1 second. Well, it wasn't that exciting. Move quickly, you said, for this show. Is that what the...
Don't worry, you'll have plenty to listen to in that gap.
Where were we? What were we?
Well,
it's impossible.
We were moving away from hot cereal. The show was ending. You had something exciting to bring up.
Did I? Is that how I began the last part?
I think so. I don't know if you were gonna bring up the Ask Me Anything that email that we got.
Oh, if anybody brings that up, you do.
Do I?
Yeah.
Hi, Dondi.
Yes, that's the extent of that email.
That's
Did
it?
you want any highlights from it? Did you
Yeah, no, it was awesome. That was that was super, super cool, Dondi. I appreciate you. I love you emailing. It's awesome to hear from you. When it comes to the question that you asked about how did I get even cooler? I mean, look.
Than high school.
Yeah, it's not something I chose to do. It's innate within me. I exude radicalness. So, yeah, and thanks, Aaron B.
That's what I was. Yeah, shout out to Aaron B. as well.
Yeah,
apparently.
dude, my B buddy. We used to play basketball together all the time. He was rad.
Oh, is that what the B is for?
Yeah,
Aaron buddy.
Aaron basketball.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I lived with Aaron for a long while. He and his family, and they were always wonderful to me. And then they weren't, and then I hated them.
Have they repaired the toilets by now?
Oh!
Zing, rip.
Making fun, real good times. Dondi, it was so cool to hear from you. I miss you. I want to talk to you. I don't use Facebook, so find me on Twitter, beta_angel. If you don't use Twitter, well, then email me at matt@podcast.orgs. No, wait, matt@0hitpoints.com.
You have a real email. Yeah, do you want to?
That's it.
Okay.
In any case, thank you guys. Thanks for
just
the email.
keep using the podcast. This was through the form entry, which we still have on the website. If you go to 0hitpoints.com,
yes,
you can actually ask us anything there.
That's true.
Via that
That's true.
thing. So yeah, just use that exclusively to communicate with Matt if you want.
Yeah, and I will just respond here. I mean, we can have private communications through this. It's fine. I'll just have Ryan take his headset off.
It's not far removed. Let's put it that way.
Hey, we're okay.
Again, love the listeners and the viewers.
Mostly the viewers. Listeners,
what did you want to do for this thing?
go quick. I played Diablo 3.
Oh, you followed through with the downloading of it after the Diablo 4 announcement.
I did. Yeah, I hate Blizzard, but that's a good game. Yeah, I hadn't played it in a long time, and we actually on Friday night, I think, later in the evening. Shout out to all the folks at CLAN. I was part of a stream we did. We started playing the story from the beginning with 4 players.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I never finished it. One other person hadn't either. Everybody else had like 70 characters that were all maxed out. So, but it's cool, man. That game is super fun, and
you're rolling in with what, level 3 or something?
My highest level character prior to not playing it, just for whatever, it was 25.
I'm sure that was fine.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm halfway through the game. I just didn't, I just didn't finish it.
Sure. It happens.
It's good.
Are you picking up now vanilla or with all the expansions on there?
I already owned all the expansions. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I hear that's the one.
It's a beautiful game, man. That's the thing, is it's such a good looking game, and the group that I'm playing with, one of the characters, one of the people's playing a necromancer, and I was gonna play the necromancer. I chose not to, and it's pretty funny, man. The entire game, it's like, oh, hey, here's a bunch of enemies. We're all attacking them. And in that, while we're throwing stuff, they're just blowing up. They're just bones going everywhere. Corpses are exploding because of the necromancer. There's just, it's all over the place. It's just one massive corpse explosion.
Name of my autobiography.
Corpse explosion.
Bones going everywhere.
Oh, because I was going to say that would have been, right. Yeah. Diablo. I have nothing else to say about it.
Oh, I thought that was going.
That was going nowhere other than I played it. It was fun. I will probably keep picking it up and playing it because I want to kind of finish the game out. So
I hear a lot of good stuff about Diablo 3 all the time.
Yeah.
What's the strongest point? What do they do especially right with that thing that...
It's Diablo. I mean, it's
they just got it right.
Yeah, they just got it right. I mean, it's not.
Okay.
I don't know that any of the games will ever be better than Diablo 2. But I also don't know if that's just, especially at this point, more of a nostalgia thing.
Okay.
But no, it's great, man. Like I like the layout of it. I like the kind of the way you level up and the way your abilities level up. I actually really like, because it doesn't it entices you to swap back and try different things in your build.
Oh,
which is fun, you know, because like you have your base skills, and then your base skills have like extra added things to them. So like I'm playing a wizard, and my wizard, like his normal base skill, you can sub-zero people basically, just pew, ice cannon type thing out of his hands.
Cool.
And then you can add like things onto it to make it fire or electric and blah blah blah. And yeah, it's cool. Like my highest level character is a demon hunter, and she I like that character a lot because I don't really lose health ever. I've got all these right now anyways, the way my abilities work and the way my my armor is set, everything, like every time I hit somebody I gain health, every second I regenerate health. So I'm just sitting there like killing guys over and over again every time I shoot something. And then on top of that, I can put out 2 little turrets. So those hit, and those are just giving me health, and yeah, it's fun.
Nice. Okay. That's cool. If they've actually got you switching back and forth too, I feel like that's a pretty big thing when it comes to loot shooters. No, I'm not going to say the word that I keep hearing.
Diablos is what I call them.
It's good. But because I feel like that's the death knell of a loot shooter like that, is that you get something and you stick with it. Like you've got it. Like I'm kind of, while we've been doing Borderlands 3, trying to do that because I don't really want to juggle type thing. We talked about this a few times.
And Borderlands is harder that way for me.
Yeah, I think it's still resistant, so I'm probably not doing myself any favors, but for a game that can make that fun and make you want to do that, that's a pretty big thing,
sure.
I would say.
Yeah, well, and it's cool.
In that space.
I like it because I know that later on in games, when you start getting up to the like late levels, 60s, 70s and stuff like that, people definitely kind of stick with builds, but I don't know, it like you're leveling up and the different things are unlocking, and you know, why not play with them? It's you know, what's the worst that happens? You die. Okay.
That seems like something that would level off the higher you got. You know, you're looking for that final God mode,
the challenge, and that, because then it becomes about the gear. You know, like it's you get everything, you get all your skills unlocked, and then it's all about the gear.
Cool. I'll be interested. If you knew somebody who had never played a Diablo. Mm-hmm. Would you recommend starting with 3, waiting for 4, finally doing 2?
3 is a good spot, especially since 4 is coming out, and and since 3 is already out, it'll give you it should be relatively inexpensive now, with the expansion with Reaper of Souls at least.
Oh, this isn't for me. This is somebody.
I'm not talking about you.
No, not.
I'm talking about anybody. This is just.
I played a ton of them.
Yeah, no, this is a generalized thing. It should be relatively inexpensive now. It shouldn't. I don't think it'll be full price. But yeah, no, this is a good one. Because the 4th one is going to build off this one probably more than anything in terms of, I'm guessing some of the functions. In
good ways and bad ways, from what I understand, it seems like some of it at least is a reaction to the idiots reacting to Diablo 3 where it was too bright or too many rainbows or too many this. They're like, this one's dark. Look how dark this one is. Can't even see it.
Yeah, I mean, only in the sense that, in the color palette maybe, but like in terms of the story, it's always going to be the same ridiculous story. It's the same story every time, but it plays well. It's fun. I mean, if you've never played Diablo, totally worth playing. It's a solid game. It'll tell you will know if you want to play Diablo 4. And I mean, you'll know pretty early on in this game if you even like it. You know, it's one of those, you may find out real quick that I'm not into it, but
sure. You get the idea pretty quick. And for something that I feel like kind of began this whole thing, like,
oh, it did for sure.
This has gone it started with Diablo in a lot of ways. Like, I've seen and played parts of this game in a million other games already.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, but this is definitely kind of a very refined version of it, in my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah, I
Good.
don't know, man. I think it's worth it. I have it on Xbox One, so
So if whoever did get it, that would be somewhere they could, again, just email the podcast at 0HITPOINTS.com and you can play with Matt.
yep, that's right. Play with me.
All right. Is that the game of the week?
That's it.
My game of the week is the game of last week. I've played and must be freaking close to the end of Modern Warfare.
Nice.
And I did finally get to the Highway of Death thing, and we had a whole big long talk about that last week.
Yeah, we did.
Before I had played the section, full disclosure, that I probably should have fully disclosed last week. Played it this week, and I'm even... It's still dumb, but now I'm way more on the side of dumb than maybe some concerted or propagandistic effort even. It's just so tossed off, and even in the way it's used. So you get the level begins and you're driving down to the spot where you're basically just going to be camped out while you shoot people that come at you. And so you're not you yourself shooting retreating combatants or whatever. That would have been
way better,
probably far worse, or more true to life. I don't know.
Correct.
Which, who knows at this point. But she just kind of rattles it off. Oh, it's called the Highway of Death. And yes, it is the same occurrence. It is the Russians who, in this game, the Russians are the bad guy. There's especially one that's a big bad, Barkov, I think. They do say that, yes, the Russians were the ones that perpetrated this thing. But it's so tossed off. It's used as a way to emphasize the bad guys as being bad. So in a way, it's stupid. They took something that they knew you could look up that the United States did and were like, okay, the bad guys did this.
right?
So just why would you even do that? Like, it says nothing or everything, but in this game, it's nothing. It just seems like the stupidest most... And even if I could close the loop on my thought from where I began, remember I did the whole convoluted Star Trek thing about how games are in their adolescence and they're trying to do what TV and movies did for some time until they became serious or respected in some way or whatnot.
Yeah.
This is what happens along that path, is you do some tone-deaf things. You make some tone-deaf jokes that you've heard other people make, but you don't understand because you don't have the experience or the chops, really. Again, this is probably being far more generous. Like, somebody should have figured this out for such a big game and for so many people. But on the other hand, that's maybe an excuse why some of it gets through the cracks. In any event, this is what happens. Some tone deferees at best that are pointless, and I'm sure everybody involved is like, why didn't we just not do this at all? Like, why did... Because the map is very much reminiscent of pictures that you can look up about the Highway of Death. Like, it's obvious that they wanted that to be the environment, but to some extent it seems like that's it. Like, they saw that picture and was like, oh, that would be a cool level. Yeah,
neat.
And that's it. And they used Highway of Death because why not? It's in there too.
Yeah. Why don't you just change it, call it Highway to Hell, get sued, but at least you won't look like a dick.
Yeah. At least then AC/DC is on your back. So
yeah, or instead of video game fans.
So it's just dumb. I think it's still at worst. Yeah, somebody was trying to do something and it extremely did not work. But it just seems more likely than not that dorks were in charge and didn't catch it.
Yeah, I just think this was one of those, like, they didn't consider any of it. That's ultimately what it comes down to. They knew what it was. They just didn't care. It's like, you don't go into that. Again,
yeah, that might be
like,
the worst.
That's the thing, is like, you don't go into that not knowing.
For a game that rips things from the headlines all the time and would supposedly vet a lot of stuff like this, yeah, you would think. But again, if you take that example that we used to be able to do this and nobody cared, that they would think maybe they could still get away with it now is probably even more tone deaf. But
it's just like, it's entertainment does not seem to understand that people are evolving. Or
that entertainment's evolving.
Yeah, they're just, everything is so behind itself. We're all behind each other. Get behind me. Let's play with each other. Ding, ding, ding.
And then it's like how I always end every conversation of this thing like this, but also really good. Maybe one of the best campaigns I've played. Still looks gorgeous and plays extremely well. And I'm trying to give it more weight because a lot of times I do engage with Call of Duty campaigns in a way that it just washes over me. Like I don't look at the environments I'm running and I'm gunning, and I don't really take the time to see what good work that has been done.
Yeah, all that little detail that's in there.
But this is incredibly rewarding if you do that. So
it's funny.
It's good.
I was actually noticing that when I was playing Diablo. There's a whole section where you're in this like big battle, and you're kind of on top of you're kind of on top of like a castle thing. And when you get to the edges of the castle, you can see all of this battle happening down below. And then you get to the other side of the castle and you can see all these big creatures that are trying to break in. It's very cool.
Okay, fine. Jeez. Again,
I'm not trying to entice you to play Diablo. I'm just,
I know.
I mean, you know,
games are good.
Games,
we like them.
They can be. And gosh, they're like, what a time.
What a time to be alive. So, speaking of time, by my count, we're somewhere near 25 minutes, which should leave plenty of time to talk about DC Legends.
Okay, great, go. I think I've said all I have to say.
Really? Well, we're just as a check-in then. What have you done, noticed, or seen, or got?
I'm like 3 fragments away from Dr. Fate, which is pretty cool.
Oh, no joke. Did you get him? I just reached his... Okay, so you play through the heroic campaign. The difference with those levels as opposed to the other ones is you can replay them for hero fragments, which once you get enough, you can unlock characters.
Yeah.
I just barely got to the chapter where I can see his level, but I haven't got to that level yet. Is that where you're getting most of the fragments?
I got one through like some... Where did I get it? Maybe I got it through I don't know. I thought there was, I don't know. I think I've gotten almost all of them through that. And getting 3 stars on that was easily the hardest one I've done so far. 3 stars, all the ones before it, no problem. 3 stars, the like two after it. But that one took me I had to level up my guys to a point where it was like I was over 1,000 points better, like stronger, because like figuring out how to deal with getting through the 3 waves and then getting to the hero who like hits really hard.
Yeah. Who's the hero?
Is it Raven? I don't
Oh, interesting. You can't grind out a level unless you've 3-starred it, is what you're talking about. And there's an unevenness to the way the campaign levels happen. Because some of them will be boss battles or have named characters in them, and then the other ones are just random manhunter robots. But the one will be hard, and then like the next 2 or 3 after it will be easy.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
And that Dr. Fate is one of them. But then once you hit the 3 stars, you never actually have to go back and physically play it. You can do the auto fight.
Speed force, grind it.
Yeah.
Unless you're in an alliance where the goal is to play through heroic battles, and then you actually have to play through them, but you can go back and play the earlier ones.
That's exactly what I do, and I only do it I play like 4 or 5 games, and it's usually because at this point now, I almost always have 2 or 3 characters that are gaining points. So I throw them in there, play 4 or 5 games, and I'm at, like, the alliance I'm in is not terribly active.
Oh,
so
I know.
Are you in?
I'm in it.
Are you? Yeah, I haven't played it like the past few days. I haven't done any of the alliance stuff.
Because you were like, the name of my alliance is Shazam, of course. I was like, of course it is. So I searched, and there's actually a lot of alliances named Shazam.
There are a few.
Some of which do not use the Shazam logo. They use there's like a Green Lantern. A bunch of them are just like, apparently didn't realize that was an option. But I found the one that was like, everybody's welcome. And I was like, okay, this one seems like the easiest. Also, it was the fullest. It had like 20 something people. I think it caps at 30. So I was like, well, probably the more people, the better.
That's exactly why I joined that one.
Okay. And then you scrolled down. Like, yep, there you are.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay, cool. I just wanted to check in. Various points throughout the week, I've already have texted you, I'm sure, far more than you want about this thing. But also I know you don't care, but also I love that I'm making you dig into a game that you probably don't even think that much about or that deeply about.
I haven't just the past few days. I haven't, mostly because so Beth left on Thursday.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
you guys.
Well, she's my ex-girlfriend, so it's it comes and goes.
Sometimes she likes to go back to the good old days.
Yeah. Where she? Yeah.
Sorry, Beth. Come home.
Do whatever you
Just
want.
kidding. She doesn't listen to this thing.
Yeah, she does. I think she has it on her like auto download just to make me feel better. She's like, I'll be a
Whoa.
subscriber.
I'll have to tell Candy about that because she does, but it's she has it on her. You've downloaded this at some point in the past, but there are no episodes anymore. She put an end to that.
Thank goodness. Yeah, so she was gone, and then I got a whole bunch of weird bugs up my butt this week, both real and
Butt bugs.
Yeah, butt bugs.
I got you.
Both real and facetiously. No.
Imagined.
Words.
Figurative.
Imagine. Figurative. There we go. So Friday night, Friday and Saturday, I basically spent the entire day in the kitchen. I finished work on Friday, and then Friday night I made a whole bunch of creme brulee. Nobody was home. It was just for me. I bought a torch recently, and I was like, all right, might as well use it. Wanted a torch. It was 12.
No, hey, there is nothing wrong with. As a man who owned several zippers, it's not untrue, and Zippos throughout high school. Hey, some things never change.
No, I wanted one for torching food and stuff, and I was like, all right, well, I got it, so I might as well make creme brulee. So I tried to do that. Didn't come out great, but they were. I know where I went wrong, and I know what I got to do better. And I was gonna make them again on Saturday, but then Saturday I decided, I'm gonna bake bread. I've never done that before, so I baked bread. It's a long process. It was fun though.
But then at the end, you have bread.
I do. I've got 2 loaves of bread, and they're actually extremely edible.
All right. Well, so at the very least, I know it was still recording when it said 25 minutes. When it stopped, who knows? Maybe I won't even need this statement, and I can just work in seamlessly all of the lost content that we talked about. DC Legends, Batman Sucks, Swamp Thing Good.
We're taking too much time here.
Etc. Anything else you want to talk about DC Legends?
No.
Okay. I get the feeling that was more than you wanted to talk about anyway.
Significantly so.
There's plenty of news things, as always, but after reading 2 especially, there's probably only one that's moving the meter.
Okay, move my meter, MEAT.
Destiny 2 patch makes the pinnacle grind mathematically possible. Was one of the worst headlines I've ever read. Overwatch heroes got haircuts for Overwatch 2, but Mercy's is the worst.
Mercy's the worsty.
Another headline that's making me doubt we have a news section this week. But then PlayStation Worldwide Studios President Shuhei Yoshida steps down.
Where did he step down? Like from was he going downstairs? Or?
Yeah, he just steps. Yeah, he was standing. He was up. He was higher. Now he's lower.
Okay. I mean,
Again, another non-headline.
Yeah, I don't really get it. He was on a stage. He came off the stage.
No, this was just on the heels of like Andrew House, Sean Layden. Like a lot, there appears to be a sea change going on over at Sony for whatever reason, and in preparation for, I don't know. It seems especially weird. This is coming like just a year before the PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
point.
kind of strange. We'll see what happens, but thought it was at least a news item.
No, it is. That was a news item. I didn't know
It
that.
was, as opposed to the others.
I had not heard that.
So you hadn't heard about that. That's good. So still doing our job here on Did You Hear About This with Matt and Ryan.
There we go. I don't know why you don't end that segment every time like that.
I don't know why we don't end the show right now, because zerohitpoints.com and Facebook and okay, now I know why we don't end the show. Answer my own question.
Do you want me to try?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Okay,
Welcome to Zero Hit Points.
I take it back completely.
Oh.
zerohitpoints.com.
Welcome to the show. We're back.
zerohitpoints.com. Podcast at zerohitpoints.com. Facebook, Twitter. Talk to us. We'll talk to you back. This week, come back for Book Club for Movies, where we do Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We got a lot to say.
Do we?
Or we don't. I don't know. We haven't recorded it yet, so it's going to be a questionable show at the very least.
I thought you were giving me a I'm excited to talk about this and have a lot to say.
I might be.
But, okay.
I might very well be. It's a teaser.
It's
you
a
can't
teaser.
tell.
Okay.
I refuse to acknowledge the positivity or negativity right now that
Okay.
I feel towards Alita Battle Angel.
And what a teaser it was. Successfully teased, everybody. Come back for that. Thanks. Bye, Kate.
Bye.